Well, on a lighter note, this next story is more than a half-century old, and we're finally going to wrap it up tonight.
Finally. It involves a bank, long out of business, that has been long out of business, a time capsule, and a 12-year-old girl from West Jordan. News specialist Keith McCord tells us this story with a happy ending.
It all started in this old 8-story building on the corner of Main Street and First South in Salt Lake City. It was built in 1893.
I'm 94 and I'm going to retire in 10 years.
Okay.
That's Robert Crandall. He bought the building in 1955. His name is over the main entrance. In all these years, he's leased out the office space. In 1959, he leased the main floor to First Federal Savings Bank. To celebrate the grand opening, Bank President M.L. Dye wanted a time capsule filled with various items of the day, placed in a wall to be opened in the year 2000. First Federal Savings moved out of this building in the 80s and was eventually acquired by another financial institution. But nobody remembered the time capsule. That is, until a few weeks ago. Robert Crandall is having the old bank space remodeled, and that involves removing old brick from the exterior of the building. One of his employees discovered this metal box in a hole in the wall.
When I keep walking back and forth, I noticed the box right here, and I thought it was a circuit breaker. And when I look around, there's no pipe coming in. So I just pulled the thing out, and the whole thing came out.
The time capsule contained copies of the Salt Lake Tribune and Deseret News with intriguing headlines from November of 1959. All of the contents have fire damage, though no one knows about any fires back then. There's a photo of the bank's staff, along with 12 letters written by the major movers and shakers of Salt Lake at the time. Bank President Dye asked each of them to predict how life would be at the turn of the century. University of Utah President A. Ray Olpin wrote about television, saying that they would be flat panels that people could hang on the wall in every room of the house. And newspapers?
And then Mr. Peterson of the Newspaper Agency Corporation predicted that newspapers would be transmitted electronically into people's homes. Wow. How accurate was that?
The time capsule also contained this, a First Federal Savings Account passbook with $50 in it to be given to the first baby born in Utah in the year 2000. Well, today that's $50 plus more than 50 years worth of interest. We tracked down the first baby born in 2000, Brinley Millennia Shepard. She's 12 now. She and her family came to the Crandall building to check out the hole in the wall where the time capsule was hidden all those years. Inside, they got to see the contents of the capsule and receive that savings account passbook. It is hers, after all. The big question, though, is that old savings account still open? We did some research and learned that Washington Federal Savings, based in Seattle and with offices here, acquired First Federal Savings in 1993. Though Washington Federal couldn't trace the original account number on the passbook in its files, the company willingly honored it. And several employees from the Salt Lake branch, including several who worked at the old First Federal, wanted to meet Brinley and her family and give her a surprise.
And we would like to present you with a new passbook, and which has grown to $1,000. We would like to present you this passbook and welcome you to the Washington Federal family.
Smiles all around. Perhaps a bit overwhelming for a cute 12-year-old who never imagined that long before she was born, a group of bank employees wanted to honor her in a special way.
Do you have a bank account now, or did you have one before?
No, I've never had a bank account.
You have one now?
Oh, well, okay.
We're guessing that Brinley will be a customer of Washington Federal for many years to come. Keith McCord, KSL 5 News.
Wow, love that. With interest, no less.
Shows you the power of compound interest.
Exactly.
Well, moving right along.
That's right.